Excuse me, is this where we meet his teacher?
Well, look who's out of the anemone.
Yes, shocking, I know.
Marty, right?
Marlin.
Bob.
Ted.
Bill, hey, you're a clownfish. You're funny, right? Hey, tell us a joke.
Yeah.
Give us a funny
Well,
one.
actually, that's a common misconception. Clownfish are no funnier than any other fish.
Aw, come on, Cloudy.
Yeah, do something funny.
Yeah.
All right, I know one joke. There's a mollusk, see, and he walks up to a sea. Well, he doesn't walk up, he swims up. Well, actually, the mollusk isn't moving. He's in one place, and then the sea cucumber, well, I'm mixed up. There was a mollusk and a sea cucumber. None of them were walking.
Oof. Nobody wants to be this guy. Though Marlin chose a good audience for his joke about mollusks, he didn't deliver the joke well. He failed at both brevity and precision, overdeveloping the narrative and causing his listeners to become unsure of which details to pay attention to, ultimately losing their interest. It may seem like a strange comparison, but we can apply many aspects of successful joke telling to our creation of successful short stories. Jokes and short stories both work to amuse and enthrall us, often being playful while containing a meaningful truth. They function as narratives, in jokes leading us to punchlines, and in stories comparably leading us to moments of epiphany. We as an audience like to be surprised. Just as we see the same types of jokes repeated, we constantly see the same story types. Relationship stories, war stories, stories about a character embarking on a heroic quest, coming-of-age stories. We're familiar with these story types, and they come with their own histories and atmospheres, entire backgrounds of expectation. That's why we appreciate a clever variation or reinvention of these types. It gives us something fresh. It exceeds our expectations. Take, for example, the movie Get Out. When we begin watching, we think this will be a story about a young man meeting his girlfriend's parents for the first time, and it is. However, the meeting absolutely does not happen in any way that we could have predicted. The genre quickly shifts to horror, and the story becomes a profound commentary on race.
How do you feel now?
I can't move.
You can't move.
Why can't I move?
You're paralyzed. Just like that day when you did nothing. You did nothing. Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
Part of the reason this movie was so well received was because it's original. It took a story type and transcended it. Aside from reinvention of form, surprise in stories can also come at the intersection of a pairing of complementary characters. We've seen many of these types of characters before. They're at odds in some way, therefore disrupting complacency and creating unpredictability. Let's take, for example, Miley Stewart and her grandma Ruby in the critically acclaimed film Hannah Montana, the movie. The plot follows Miley as she is forced by her dad to go back to her hometown in Tennessee for her grandma Ruby's 60th birthday party. Miley and Grandma Ruby are at odds because Miley cares more about her life in California as Hannah Montana than about spending time with her family. Let's take a look at a couple of scenes where we see them at odds.
Yes, I keep thinking I should change the wallpaper, but your mom picked this out when she was about your age.
I like it.
You used to like a lot of things about coming to see me.
Grandma.
It's okay. I know it's not personal. I just miss my Miley.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
Maybe you should be asking yourself that question.
When we finish, maybe you and I can do a little shopping.
In there, no thanks, I'm good.
Look, Missy, you may be Hannah Montana back home, but here we're britches and boots, and that ain't good enough for you, maybe you should just pack up and get. You might be fooling your daddy, but you sure as heck ain't fooling me. Now, I'm sorry for fussing at you, but I just think you should consider yourself lucky that for the time being you have a place like this to call home.
I do. And I'm sorry.
I know you are. Oh, come on.
Miley and Grandma Ruby's roles work in conjunction to complicate the plot. Miley begins to feel a newfound connection with her old life after Grandma Ruby takes her to the farmer's market and reintroduces her to places and people that she had forgotten about. This causes Miley to feel torn over the balance of her dual lives as Miley Stewart in Hannah Montana. She starts to gain an appreciation for her hometown, and because of this, because of what Grandma Ruby has encouraged within her, she decides at the end of the film that the only way to be her true self is to reveal the secret of her identity, thereby changing the course of her life forever. Miley and her grandma represent a whole creation. Miley learning about the importance of family, and Grandma Ruby not only teaching, but learning herself that there can exist significance in one's life beyond a small hometown in Tennessee. Another critical aspect of both jokes and stories lies not just in the degree of surprise, but in the degree of correctness in that surprise. In Hannah Montana the movie, as we've seen, the surprise at the end is correct, because of course throughout her visit to her hometown, Miley has learned to embrace the non-Hannah Montana part of her identity. Let's look at another example of a correct surprise, this one from Good Will Hunting. This movie follows a young man named Will who is a genius mathematician but reluctant to pursue his talent because of his background.
So, when are you done with those meetings? Like the week after I'm 21. Yeah, they gonna hook you up with a job or what? Yeah, fucking sit in a room and do long division for the next 50 years. Yeah, probably make some nice bank, though. I'm gonna be a fucking lab rat. Better than this shit. Way out of here. I want to way out of here for. I mean, I'm gonna fucking live here the rest of my life. You know, be neighbors, you know, we'll have little kids, fucking take them to Little League together up Foley Field. Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way. In 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over my house to watch the Patriots game, still working construction, I'll fucking kill you. That's not a threat, what? That's a fact. I'll fucking kill you. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, you got something none of us have. Oh, come on. Why is it always this? I mean, I fucking owe it to myself to do this or that. What if I don't want to? No. Fuck you. You don't owe it to yourself. You owe it to me. Because tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'll be 50. And I'll still be doing this shit. And that's all right. That's fine. I mean, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. You're too much of a pussy to cash it in. And that's bullshit. Because I'd do fucking anything to have what you got. So would any of these fucking guys. It'd be an insult to us if you're still here in 20 years. Hanging around here is a fucking waste of your time. You don't know that. I don't? No, you don't know that. Oh, I don't know that. Let me tell you what I do know. Every day I come by your house and I pick you up. And we go out, we have a few drinks and a few laughs, and it's great. You know what the best part of my day is? For about 10 seconds from when I pull up to the curb when I get to your door. Because I think maybe I'll get up there and I'll knock on the door and you won't be there. No goodbye, no see you later, no nothing. Just left. I don't know much, but I know that.
Now let's look at a scene from the end of the movie. Here, Chucky has come to Will's house to pick him up, but Will's not there. This moment can be described as an appropriate incongruity. It's a moment in which specific incongruous elements are put together in a way that makes sense for the narrative. Will has always been at the house when Chucky comes to pick him up. That's the routine. But keeping in mind that Chucky told Will that he'd be glad if Will wasn't there one day, We experience a sudden cognitive reorganization and reach the story's inevitable surprise, the epiphany moment, that which is both totally right and totally unexpected. Will has left to go to California, we discover, where we can imagine the myriad of job opportunities he will find there that will allow him to use his talent. This moment is not over-explained to the viewer, which would cause it to lose its impact. Instead, we discover it ourselves along with Chucky. The film, like short stories and jokes must do, establish the perfect balance between revealing too much and revealing too little.
I'm aboard, explorers!
So just then, the sea cucumber looks over to the mollusk and says, with fronds like these, who needs anemones? Ah!